Is it true that aliens exist and send us signals? When did humans actually appear, and where should we look for Atlantis? You'll find it out soon enough. This is Infinity, and in this episode I'll show you the most incredible finds that can change the entire history of the world. Prepare to have everything you believe about our planet challenged. Radio beam. For many decades, mankind has been wondering if aliens really exist, or if this is all fiction, and we're the only ones in the universe. It seems that just recently, scientists have managed to find something that may indicate the existence of aliens. Not long ago, scientists recorded intriguing radio waves emanating from Proxima Centauri, the nearest star to the Sun. The signal came from a narrow band of the radio spectrum, 982 megahertz. It was dubbed a radio beam. Astronomers had previously heard similar signals, but they usually found an explanation. This time, the signal interested scientists because previously anything like this did not come from Proxima Centauri. After studying the signal, the scientists concluded that it could have been produced by ground-based equipment or a passing satellite. However, many people disagree with them. In their point of view, there are several good reasons to believe that the signal was not sent by equipment. First, the 982 MHz band should not receive signals from equipment made by humans. And second, the signal appears to have come directly from the Proxima Centauri system, which is located only 4.2 light-years away from Earth. And while scientists still believe that something man-made is behind the signal, even they don't rule out the fact that it could have come from aliens trying to communicate with us. If so, this radio beam could change the whole story and even begin a new era in which we would be in closer contact with aliens. Homo sapiens. We all know from school that Homo sapiens as a species appeared in Africa about 200,000 years ago. At that time, there lived mitochondrial Eve, a woman from whom modern mankind inherited mitochondrial DNA. However, recent discoveries by scientists may disprove this fact and change the history of the entire world, because these finds claim that Homo sapiens appeared much earlier than we thought. In 2017, scientists discovered human remains and the tools they used in Morocco. They were 100,000 years older than all known Homo sapien remains. They're about 315,000 years old. Moreover, the location of the remains indicates that first Homo sapiens apparently did not live in one particular place. They were widespread throughout Africa, and different groups of them may have contributed to the existence of modern humans. Also, by studying the mitochondrial DNA of modern humans and Neanderthals, scientists have suggested that Neanderthals and modern humans may have diverged earlier than thought, about 500,000 years ago. All this suggests that the story as we know it is not entirely accurate. The discovery of America. When we talk about the discovery of America, the first thing that comes to mind is Christopher Columbus. After all, as we know from history books, it was he who discovered the New World for Europeans in 1492. There's another version, according to which Columbus was overtaken by Scandinavian navigators who came to the shores of America several centuries earlier. So it was the Vikings who discovered America? Recent discovery denies it and say that America was discovered by the Chinese, and they did it a long time ago. It sounds strange, but this can be proved. A few years ago, researchers found rocks in the American city of Albuquerque with atypical for America inscriptions engraved on them. After studying the inscriptions, the researchers deduced that they were written in Jaigawen. These are the pictographs that represented the earliest known Chinese script dating from the 14th through the 11th centuries BC. Linguists have already deciphered more than 80 inscriptions from Albuquerque and found that they talk about some kind of traveling. All indications are that nearly 3,000 years before Columbus, the Chinese arrived in the Americas and told about it by writing about their journey on the rocks. Recently, scientists have made many other discoveries about the Americas that may suggest that the history of the New World as we know it is not true. For example, some places in America that were always thought to be fiction and myth may have been real. Stay tuned to know more details and to see other incredible discoveries that could change the history of the world. Let's move on. The White City. If you love the history and mythology of Central and South America, you've probably heard of El Dorado, the mythical country rich in gold and precious stones. In addition to El Dorado, local legends and myths have another place, the White City, which is a kind of Honduran analog of the South American El Dorado. I don't know if El Dorado actually exists, but the White City doesn't seem to be so mythical because it was recently found. A few years ago, scientists found an ancient civilization in the jungle of La Mosquitia in northeastern Honduras. In their opinion, it may be the White City. To get to this lost place, these scientists needed the help of the military. No wonder it took so long for anyone to find the place. Scientists have discovered 52 artifacts in the jungle belonging to the period of 1000 to 1400 AD. After comparing the artifacts with the descriptions of the legends, the scientists concluded that they had apparently stumbled upon items left behind by the inhabitants of the White City, which means that this place can no longer be called legendary. Atlantis. Atlantis is another mythical place. The island was described in Plato's writings and it kept people guessing for centuries as to whether this place really existed or not. A recent discovery may suggest that Atlantis did exist. Several years ago, a diver was diving off the coast of Sicily when he found something unusual on the bottom. At first he thought he'd stumbled upon some gold, but it turned out after he hadn't found gold. Under a ship that sunk 2,500 years ago, he found 39 ingots. After examining the composition of the ingots, scientists have established a link between them and the metal, which is described in Plato's writings. Plato wrote that the Atlanteans had a lot of orichalcum, a mysterious metal that's believed to be impossible to find almost anywhere in the world. Does this mean that a diver was able to find something left over from Atlantis? Could it be that Atlantis is very close to us and that all it takes is a little more searching to make the most important discovery? Civilization. We can argue for a long time whether Atlantis existed or not. It's still not clear whether we'll be able to find irrefutable evidence of the existence of the Atlantean civilization. But scientists have been able to find traces of another civilization. In 2018, archaeologists found petroglyphs in the Indian state of Maharashtra. These were rock carvings created by representatives of an unknown-to-science civilization. The images were hidden under a layer of soil, so they went unnoticed. However, some of them turned out to be known to the locals. These places are considered holy. Pilgrims often come here. Petroglyphs were found in the vicinity of 52 villages, but the residents of only 5 of them knew about the existence of these objects. Analysis showed that the age of the images is at least 10,000 years. Most of the petroglyphs were made on rocky flat slopes. Experts were struck by the diversity of themes. The ancient authors depicted animals, birds, people, and geometric figures. They do not exclude that Indian petroglyphs may be the oldest of its kind on the planet. Hand. A few years ago, archaeologists working in Switzerland discovered a very interesting and unusual artifact. A bronze hand with a gold cuff around the wrist, next to which was a fragment of a human rib and a thin dagger. The more scientists worked with the finds, the more they were surprised and perplexed. And no wonder, because according to radiocarbon analysis, the age of ancient items is about 3,500 years. This means that the artificial hand is not only the most authentic Bronze Age artifact of Europe, but also the oldest figure representing a part of the human body ever found. The oldest color. Recently, scientists from Australia managed to discover the oldest color on our planet. Its age was 1.1 billion years. The oldest color on Earth was found deep under rocks in the Sahara Desert. The bright pink pigment discovered by scientists is about 500 million years older than any previously known colors. But where did the color come from? According to the scientists, the pink-colored particles are the remains of molecules that existed before primitive animals even existed on Earth. More specifically, they are molecular fossils of chlorophyll, which was a metabolic byproduct of photosynthetic organisms living in the ancient oceans, which long ago disappeared from the face of the Earth. Sounds interesting, but what's the significance of this discovery? As scientists say, the find is important for 2 reasons. First, it provides an overall look at the oldest pigment, and second, it gives researchers the opportunity to speculate what life might have looked like billions of years ago. That's all, guys. What other finds and discoveries can completely change the history of the entire world? Share your thoughts in the comments.